Good afternoon, Jets Nation. The New York Jets are 5-2 and have our first 4-game winning streak since 2015. It's a great time to be a New York Jets fan. Since we won, let's start off with the bad. Zach Wilson really didn't play that great today. He completed 16 of his 26 passes for 121 yards. He had 0 turnovers. Got lucky that a fumble that personally I thought was a fumble wasn't called one. And I mean, if that was called a fumble, it would have gave the Denver Broncos some really good field position. So Zach Wilson got lucky right there. And, you know, for the third straight week, he's had 0 turnovers. So, I mean, that's good. But today, he missed some easy throws. He held onto the football for too long and just really couldn't get this offense going. And that's obviously not ideal. I mean, first off, with the easy throws, he had a first down to CJ Uzomah. He threw it like he was throwing it to someone who was 9 feet tall. That's not what you want to do, especially for a wide receiver who's sliding to make the catch. That's never a good thing. And Zach Wilson, multiple times today, had a wide open receiver and just missed a throw. Like, those are throws that are complete give-me's. Those that I honestly could make. But instead, Zach Wilson doesn't make them, and that's not good at all. He also held onto the football for too long. I mean, yeah, it's great that Zach Wilson can escape from pressure. The offensive line honestly could have given up 6 sacks today, but because Zach Wilson is the magician he is behind the line of scrimmage, escaping sacks, it was only 3. But on some of those plays, we really just need to see Zach Wilson just heave it out there, because it feels like he's trying to make it on SportsCenter every single time he's in one of those situations, which isn't good. And there's multiple times where he honestly could have got sacked for about a loss of 20 yards or something like that. Luckily, he threw it away, but multiple times where, look, he could have had that fumble. If he would have just threw it away originally, we would have had, you know, a 2nd and 10 and said it was a sack. I mean, we just need to get the ball away when there's clearly not an open guy. And I mean, look, I understand Zach Wilson's a phenomenal guy at extending plays, but against one of the best defenses in the NFL, you just got to know that open guy is probably not going to be there. And whenever no one's open, just throw it out of bounds, and it just ends the play and it doesn't lose any yardage for the New York Jets. And hopefully in the coming weeks, we can just really see Zach Wilson doing that. And the New York Jets also had 4 starters get hurt in this game. Breece Hall, who was on pace for a huge game, being one of them. Elijah Vera-Tucker, John Franklin Myers, and Corey Davis were the other players who got hurt. I mean, obviously, it's not ideal when 4 starters get hurt, and it's going to be interesting to see how hurt they are. It's going to be interesting to see how long these injuries are, and we're just going to have to wait until Wednesday or maybe even tomorrow to see how important these injuries are going to be for the New York Jets. But let's go ahead and talk about the good. The defense was once again fantastic today. The Denver Broncos only scored 9 points and had 0 points in the second half. LaMarcus Joyner had an interception that led to a field goal. And the New York Jets honestly could have had a lot more picks in this game. CJ Mosley's interception, I definitely thought was a pick. Don't know why they overturned that, but they did. Clearly was a pick. And Jordan Whitehead almost could have had 2 picks as well. So the New York Jets were all over the ball today. And so far this season, we have 8 interceptions, which is already more than the amount of picks we had last season. So that's huge, and the New York Jets completely revamped the secondary this off season. The Denver Broncos couldn't get anything going in the rushing game. They only had 105 yards on the ground. And I mean, it honestly felt like it was a lot less, though, because in the first quarter, Denver was running the football pretty good. But after the first quarter, they couldn't get anything going in the ground game. I don't even think they had a rush of over 10 yards in this game, period. So the Jets' run defense was once again fantastic. And while we only had 1 sack today, the New York Jets were getting pressure to Brett Rypien a lot. And at the end of it, Bryce Huff and Carl Lawson ended the day with half a sack. So not bad. Breece Hall, as I said, was on pace for a huge day. He got hurt early on in the second quarter. But before he got hurt, 4 carries, 72 yards, and had a 62-yard touchdown and scored the Jets' only touchdown of the day. If Breece Hall didn't get hurt, who knows what his stat line would have looked like, but this dude is just going to be a phenomenal player for the New York Jets in the future, and definitely has that top 5 running back potential. And Greg Zuerlein also deserves that dog credit as well. He made all 3 of his field goals today, making it from 45, 33, and 40. And those were not easy field goals either. I mean, the wind in Denver today was, I want to say, 19 miles an hour. There were some strong winds. It was raining at one point in the game, and Greg Zuerlein just did a nice job of making all of his field goals. He delivered every single time. The kicks were right down the middle. That's just what you want to see from a veteran kicker in Greg Zuerlein, and he finally delivered, and the New York Jets finally have themselves a kicker. So yeah, today was an ugly win. We got the win 16-9. But coming into this game, I knew it was going to be an ugly performance from the New York Jets. I didn't think Zach Wilson would get over 200 yards passing, and he clearly didn't. I expected him to play better, though. But, I mean, still, it was just an ugly one for the New York Jets, but that's the type of things you want to see. You want to see your team get an ugly win over a team that has a phenomenal defense. And I mean, the New York Jets were able to pump out just enough offense to get them the win. And it was an ugly win, but every single team that's played against Denver this season, except for the Raiders, have won or lost ugly. You know, no team has really done a good job of playing offense against Denver this season. And I mean, clearly, because they have the 3rd best defense in the NFL. I mean, only one team has scored over 20 points against Denver this season. So while it was an ugly win, that's the expectation teams should have going up against the Broncos. Next week, we play the New England Patriots, who didn't lose or win so far this week because they are playing tomorrow. So yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on today's game? I'm your host, Jujet, signing off for now. See you guys later. Peace.